Hello everybody, I'm Xney, and today I wanted to talk about a weapon that I really love, and that's the Diamondback, and to a lesser extent its engineered counterpart, the Frontier Justice. For those of you who are unaware, the Diamondback stores critical hits on backstabs and building destructions, but has a reduced damage similar to that of the Ambassador, dealing 15% less damage than the normal revolver. This means right out the gate, you're not going to be anywhere near as effective as if you had the normal revolver, and you won't have a reliable source of damage to fall back on if things go south. Instead, you have one extremely sexy piece of gun that rewards you for doing what a spy is supposed to do, eliminate targets and destroy buildings. And if you know me at all, you know that I love weapons that fill a situational role. I love the red tape recorder, I love the Sydney Sleeper, I love all these weapons that aren't generally useful in a lot of situations, but in the right situation they can be incredibly useful. Like pulling off a chain stab and immediately whipping around and finishing off any aggressors with the stored crits, or harassing an engineer and killing him with the crits from his own building is so satisfying. With that being said, you still have to be able to hit the shot, because if you're like me at all, you'll miss 50% of the crits that you have. And that's a big problem with this weapon, is that psyche that you get into when you're like, I have these crits, I have to hit these shots. This happens with any weapon that stores these crits, like the Diamondback, the Man Melcher, or the Frontier Justice. It puts you into this idea of, I have to make these shots count the most, but you should just be throwing them out. And honestly, you'll miss most of them. It'll feel kind of bad, but the ones you hit will feel so good. And if you have really good aim, you should probably just be using the Ambassador at the point. It's a much more reliable weapon than the Diamondback if you're able to aim. But the Diamondback is incredible as something to fall back on if things go bad, but should in no way be relied on as a constant source of damage. I like to use the Diamondback with the Kunai and the Dead Ringer because that whole combo forgives me for being a bad spy. While the Kunai's reduced base health is detrimental at first, stabbing someone in a group just doesn't spell instant death anymore, especially when paired with the Dead Ringer, and the Diamondback rounds us out as the final oh shit card for when you're in a really bad situation and you just need to get out of it. It covers all my bad points as spy, with the Kunai forgiving me for being in a bad situation and going for a stab, the Dead Ringer for also forgiving me for bad positioning, and the Diamondback for getting me out of situations I shouldn't be able to normally get out of. And honestly, one of the biggest reasons I love this thing so much is that it is a sexy piece of gun straight out of Deus Ex, and the noise it makes, it's so satisfying. It's just that noise. But to get back on track, I wanted to mention that I made a video a little while ago where I talked about the Criticola and its flaws as a weapon because it just makes the scout better at doing what a scout does. And a lot of people in the comment section were complaining about the Frontier Justice and the Diamondback, saying, well, don't these just make the engineer and the spy better at doing what they do? But that's not really true. While the Frontier Justice and the Diamondback reward the spy and engineer for doing their job well, the Criticola just straight up increases how good the scout is. Because while the Diamondback may do 102 damage if you're a good spy, you're getting saps, you're getting stabbed, it's still easily counterable by a team that is communicating, that is well balanced, and is looking out for you. The Frontier Justice can be easily countered by not throwing yourselves into sentries and feeding him kills. Both of these weapons can be easily countered and start to struggle at higher levels of play, while the Criticola just increases how good a scout is and has no real downside. While the Diamondback has a reduced damage, being able to only deal 102 maximum damage on a critical hit, and the Frontier Justice loses 3 shots compared to the normal shotgun, the Criticola just makes the scattergun able to one-shot light classes and almost 2-shot heavies. And there's no real comparison between the two because their roles are so different, and the Criticola is something that really isn't comparable to anything else in the game, and in my opinion should really be nerfed. But to get back on track talking about the Diamondback, the best way to use this weapon is just like the normal revolver. Don't psych yourself out waiting for the perfect shot when you have the crit stored, and just take the shot. It doesn't matter if you hit or miss. By just psyching yourself out, you're gonna miss all the shots that you would have taken, because you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. That's all I have for today. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.